Hi everyone, you're welcome to Yvonne Winifreyuchi. Today's tutorial is all about this cropped bustier. It is a stylish piece that I made so that I can wear it on top of my plain dresses, plain t-shirts, especially the white long-sleeved shirts. Like, it is a stylish piece, and also I can even wear it with a skirt or a trouser that is high-waisted. So the back of it is as you're going to be seeing it, the back is a Laceup back, but if you want you can even add a zipper. All in all, it is a stylish piece. It is also reversible, so you can wear it on any side that you want. I just considered the color orange as the common factor between the two fabrics, and I was like, why not make this? So this is what I make in today's tutorial. If you really want to see how everything came up, you just need to watch till the end. And today's part 1 is all about the cutting, the pattern cutting or drafting on pattern, but you can even, like, cut directly onto fabric. So let us start. So this is my pattern paper, and I'm going to be using the pencil first to mark the lines, but then for all the wanted parts I'll use a blue marker to highlight whatever we need for our bustier. So from the top I've marked 1/2 inch and I created that first line, and from that line I'm going downwards to mark at 10.5 inches for my bust line. So I mark it on different points, then I connect a straight line. It is supposed to be a straight line parallel to the first one that we already marked, which is our starting line. Then also from the top, still from our starting line, which is the shoulder line, I'm going downwards to about 13.5 inches for my under bust line, then also continue downwards for my waistline at the 17-inch mark, and then connect the points like this and create these lines that you see now. So guys, let us label them: the bust line, under bust line, the waistline, and also the shoulder line at the top. So along the shoulder line, guys, I'm just going to mark 3 inches for my neckline width. I won't need this, but let me just mark this because from this we get whatever we need. 3 inches for neckline width. Then I continued to mark 8 inches, and at the 8-inch mark I went down by 1 inch, then created that shoulder slant from the neckline width to that 1 inch below the 8 inches, which is half of the shoulder measurement. So from that 1 inch I went down also by 8 inches to mark the armhole depth. Then I'm creating this line, straight line like this, 8 inches from that shoulder slant. Then this armhole depth gives us the chest line, which is this line. Let's label it. Anyways, I will label that later. So I get the midpoint of this armhole depth, and at the midpoint I move inwards by 1/2 inch, and along this chest line I'm marking 1/4 of the bust measurement that I'm working with, and now I'm going to form the armhole curve, connecting from the 1 inch shoulder slant to the 1/2 inch at the midpoint of the armhole depth, then into the chest line, and this is now the armhole for these bodies. So from these bodies we are going to create our bustier, or the strapless top as most people call it. So from the top I'm marking downwards 3 inches for the neckline depth, and then curve out simply like that. So guys, this is our bodies, and from these bodies we are going to create our bustier or strapless top. So first I mark on all these lines, I'm going to mark half of the nipple to nipple measurement, which in this case is 4 inches. So I've marked 4 inches on all these 3 lines, and now I'm forming a new line that we are going to use to manipulate our dart. So guys, on these 2 lines, the last 2 lines, the waistline and the and the under bust line. The sides that is facing the center front, I'm going to mark half an inch. So half an inch here, half an inch here from that line. Then this side that goes outwards, I mark 1.5 inches, and all together now that manipulation is at 2 inches for a medium-sized person. If somebody is, you know, like at a large size or extra large, you mark about 2.5 inches all together, half an inch towards the center front and 2 inches towards the side. So also guys, from the bust I'm going downwards by 1 inch, just marked 1 inch, and it's sometimes that is optional, but I love marking 1 inch. Then afterwards I curve to the already marked or formed dart legs like this. This side I use a curved ruler as you see, and even the other side. Make sure your points are not too pointy, let them be curved on all the joints where they join. So now guys, coming to this shoulder slant line, I'm getting its midpoint, which is somewhere here, and I'm going to connect to the bust line with a slanted line like this. Next, I'm going to measure the distance from this bust line to the under bust line like this. So here I think I have about 3 inches. So I'm going to mark that same from the bust line going upwards. 3 inches, but you can even add half an inch, but that is optional, but it is good because it helps, especially when you're sewing. So at that point I'm marking 1 inch on either side of this slanted line that connects from the shoulder slant to the bust like that. So now guys, I'm going to carve out, connecting, not even carve out, but connect with the curved line like this from this 1 inch this side to that point, and also from this side also. Remember we marked 1 inch here, then towards that point like that below the bust line. So guys, that is what we have. That is where the boob sits when it comes to the bustier, and I love measuring these two lines so that I see if they are equal in length. If not, I add like half an inch or a quarter inch at the top of the line that is shorter. It is always like shorter by half an inch or a quarter inch. So now after that I'm going to mark where the bustier will start from at the center front. So from the top I'm coming downwards by 8 inches. 8 inches I think is enough for now, and I'm just going to create a simple curve to create kind of that neckline that is curved towards the center front from this other line like this, simply like that. Simple sweetheart neckline. So after that guys, let me just shade out all these unwanted parts. So now I'm just going to mark along this center, this line, a quarter of the bust measurement plus this dart that we took in. It is about like 1 inch, 1.25 inch, and I place it back towards or along the at that line, the chest line. Then also at the waistline I mark a quarter of the waist measurement, then plus that 2 inches of the dart that we took out, then connect simply like that. So it is so simple, very beginner friendly. Also comment below if there is something you're not getting. I'll be able to explain to you. And also I have many other videos about bustiers. I'm going to link some in the description box. But otherwise, after that I'm just going to connect into the armhole from this line. As you see, connect with a curve like this, into the armhole like that. And guys, that is it that we need for our front piece. So next is to mark out properly along the waistline our wanted points, and also label. So this is the side front piece. We will need two, because guys, at this point you're imagining that the center front is on fold, or that your pieces are on fold. So I've not added any sewing allowances. I'll be adding them when I am cutting on fabric. But if you're cutting directly on fabric, please add your sewing allowances whenever you reach. So these are my two front pieces. The center front will be on fold, then the side front will be two pieces like that. So now for the back, guys, you just repeat the same process as we did for the front, but you don't include the under bust line, but you do the neckline width, neckline depth, the half of the shoulder measurement, then like the armhole depth. You create your chest line, you have your bust line there, then also the waistline. Those are the points that we need. So along the chest line, I'm marking a quarter of the bust measurement, and now I've marked already the midpoint of the armhole depth. Then I just carve out. For the back, you don't need to move in by half an inch at the midpoint of the armhole depth. Now next, anyways, I'm just going to mark a half of the nipple to nipple measurement, which in this case is 4 inches. So I've just marked 4 inches on all these lines, and I'm just going to create another straight line, vertical one, like this. So first I'm going to come at the chest line and go down by 1 inch. This is the center back, by the way. So this can be on fold, or you can add a zip allowance, or you can add or subtract like 1 inch if you're going to add eyelets, if you're going to use, you know, like straps for tying. So I'm marking 1 inch below the chest line at the center back, and also along this vertical line that we've created, and also along the waistline I'm marking half an inch on either sides of this vertical line. And I'm just going to connect from those half inches either sides to the 1 inch I went down below the chest line, like that. And those are the dart legs for the back. So now we formed our dart for the back. That's all that we need for the back. Then guys, I'm just going to create kind of the neckline at the back, or where the back will start. So it is a curve that goes into the side. So from at the center back, I went down from the chest line by 1 inch, then just curved into the side towards, you know, the armhole. So that's it. So after shading the unwanted part, I'm just going to make sure I confirm my bust measurement, a quarter of the bust measurement along this line, like that, plus that the dart if there is. Then also at the waistline, a quarter of the waist measurement plus that 1 inch of the dart that we, you know, took in. Then connect my points like that, and that's all. Then label the side back, center back, and also show that here will be the lacing or the eyelets, like that. You just form small circles at the center back, then also indicate where your pieces are, you know, like facing, so that when you're sewing everything is easy, and also when you're cutting. So you consider that when you're cutting, and even after cutting, you label on your fabric. So at that point, or at this point now, you just cut out your wanted pieces, you put away the unwanted pieces, and then the pieces are so ready for cutting. So guys, this is it for the back pieces. I have those two. You can cut them as one piece, but me, in most cases, I cut them separately. But if you want, you can just join them and cut it as one piece for the back. Then also, these are the two front pieces. For those, you make sure you cut them separately. You just add half an inch everywhere except the side seam allowances. So guys, in the next video, we'll be cutting on fabric and also sewing. This was just the pattern drafting. You should come back and watch that next. And that's all. See you soon.